Okay, welcome neighbors. Today we're going to learn how to do some steaks on a charcoal grill. So I'm going to go ahead and get these salted up. Basically what we're going to be cooking today are some top sirloin with cap removed steaks. Very affordable, only $5 a pound. Great steak to learn how to do grilling on. Okay, so we're going to salt these up using kosher salt. We're going to go ahead and do these, salt them up pretty liberally. Once again, you can salt to your taste. If you're trying to avoid salt, you don't have to go quite so heavy. But the trick here is to do this about 30 to 60 minutes before you're going to do your grilling. So you're going to want to go ahead, put these on, let them sit for a half hour to an hour to let the salt absorb in and draw out the moisture and really make these juicy and tender and bring out the most amount of flavor. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the kind of steaks that you want to use for grilling. Your top steaks are, your ribeye steak is kind of like the Cadillac steak. It's the one that you want to aspire for. Strip loin steaks, sirloin steaks, bavettes if you can get them, if the cuts are done locally too near to you. You want these things to be about an inch thick, but those are fairly premium steaks, especially your ribeyes and your strip loins. They can cost, up to $20, $25 a pound, depending on the beef grade. What you want to avoid are some your top and bottom rounds and some of your chuck steaks. They require a different kind of cooking technique. So let's go ahead, we'll get this thing lit up. I'm going to link the introduction to the grill video up here so that you can see how to get the chimney going. And we're going to go ahead and set these up for indirect cooking. And what that is the coals go on one half of the grill. And that's where you're going to do your heat and your searing. And the other half has no coals, and that's where you're going to do the bulk of your cooking. Okay, while I'm doing this, we can talk a little bit about the beef grades. The three beef grades you're going to be primarily, there's eight different grades of beef, but the three that you're going to be primarily interested in, from the best to the, it's still good, but in order of preference, is your prime cut, which is your top, your best of the line, your choice cut, and your select. Most of what is in the store is more like a select or a choice. For learning how to do this, you want to definitely be, just stick with your choice. Don't worry about the prime cuts for now. So what we've done is we've let the grill heat up for about 5 minutes. Now it's nice and hot. We'll go ahead and we're going to sear these steaks. These things are huge. These are a nice big steak. There's $25 worth of steaks there. It was very, very cheap. So we're going to go ahead and sear these for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. If they're thin, you got to really be careful you don't overcook them at this point. But you're putting a sear on the outside. So you put them on for 2 or 3 minutes, flip it over to sear the other side. Okay, so these have been seared on each side. Now we're going to take them off the direct heat into the indirect part to finish cooking them out. Now, how long you're going to keep them over here is going to vary on the thickness of your steak. It doesn't take much longer than the amount of time that you spent over there, and at the temperature that you want to get the steaks to. But basically, pull them off. You're likely to be talking about somewhere probably about 8 or 10 minutes from beginning to end. So that's another additional 2 or 3 minutes at this phase. But once again, that's going to depend entirely on the thickness of the steak and the temperature of your grill. So we're going to go ahead and move these around. Don't worry about searing grates at this point. Don't worry about trying to get cross hatches on your steaks. At this point, let's just concentrate on cooking a good temperature steak. Don't be afraid to flip them more than once. Just get them cooked. Now we're going to take temperatures. Now you notice there that I was poking the steaks. You get in a habit of doing that, because once you get used to the feel of how tough or how much pressure is on that steak when you take the temperature with your finger, you'll no longer have to use a temperature probe. You'll be able to tell by the feel how well done it is. So for now, if you don't know how you like your steaks, just go for a medium, which is about 140 degrees. Most people like to have their steaks medium rare to medium. I know a lot of people like medium well or well done. Try experimenting with something, you know, a temperature a little bit lower than what you're used to. It's just because it does have a better flavor. So we're going to pull these off at about 5 degrees before the desired temperature, because they're going to continue to cook as you set them off the grill. So I've set these off to the side. The other two need to cook a little bit more. Once again, monitoring that temperature until you get to your desired doneness. And definitely once you've taken the steaks off of the grill, you want to let them sit at least 5 minutes to incorporate the juices back in before you serve them. You just want to let them rest for another 5 minutes or so. So because I like ours medium, we're going to be pulling these off. I like mine medium rare, but the family likes a medium. I'm pulling these off at about 135 or so, 135 degrees. And we're going to let them sit. So these are looking pretty good. I'm going to pull these off. Just want to thank everybody for viewing this. Please consider to subscribe and hit notification when we release new videos. It would really help out our channel. But whatever you do, get out there and try. Make mistakes, but learn from those mistakes. But most of all, have fun. And as always, I throw a pack of hot dogs on the leftover coals to just take advantage of them, throw them in the fridge, enjoy them throughout the week. Okay, thanks, everybody.